To truly love something, you need to take the time and get to know it. Why, for example, does Ferrari have such a huge following despite last winning the title in 2008? The constructors, that is. 2008, let that sink in. Part of the answer to that question is, of course, that they used to be quite good. Really bloomin' good. And that inspired me to make some videos to hopefully show the Drive to Survive superfan generation that there really was Formula One before Netflix. Ever wondered which teams are the most successful in the sport's long history? Well, wonder no more, matey, but I bet that you would be surprised by some of the entries on this list. Most successful constructors in terms of titles won. Constructors titles. Only constructors titles, not drivers titles, because this is a list about the most successful team, not driver. Joint 10th, Vanwall. Yes, that's right. There was a team called Vanwall. I know nothing about them, except that they won the constructors in 1958. They won 9 races and hasn't existed since dinosaurs walked the earth. Joint 10th, BRM, British Racing Motors, was a British Formula One racing team, founded in 1945 and based in the market town of Brawn in Lincolnshire. It participated from 51 to 77, that's a long time. Basically the British attempt at recreating a Ferrari team based in Lincolnshire. They won the title in 1962. Legends like Mike Hawthorne, Graham Hill, Niki Lauda, John Surtees and Jackie Stewart raced for them. In 1963, 64, 65 and 71, BRM came second in the constructors, which seems a very British thing to do. Joint 10th, Matra, a French team who won the title in 69. Very unfrenchly, they weren't known for fine cuisine or frog's legs. They did, however, give Jackie Stewart his big chance. Tyrrell also joined 10th. Jana Lacey, Jody Scheckter, Ronnie Peterson, Jackie Stewart, Max's dad, ultimate commentator guy Martin Brundle. Just some of the drivers who made Tyrrell awesome. Under Ken Tyrrell, they were one of the very few non-turbo teams during the 80s and stuck around way beyond their sell-by date. Won 1 constructors in 71. Later, through buyouts and things I never understood because I'm not an accountant, they became BAR, Honda, Brawn and Mercedes F1 of today. So they kinda gave us that decade of Merc dominance all of us hated. Also 10th, Benetton. They became today's Alpine, but only won 1 constructors as Benetton in 95, with some kid called Michael Schumacher behind the wheel. Wonder whatever happened to him. And joined 10th as well, Brawn. 1 season wonders, 1 in 09. Joint 7th, Cooper, another short-term success story that didn't last very long, 1 in 59 and 60. Brabham, 1 in 66 and 67. They were actually not called Brabham, they were officially called Motor Racing Developments Limited, later owned by none other than Bernie Ecclestone. They won, of course, in 66 and 67, produced the awesome fan car, Google it, I love this thing, only raced once I think. Did it race? I think it would raced once. And finally disappeared, Brabham of course, after Ecclestone seemed to lose interest in only owning 1 team as opposed to the whole sport. So he then kind of gave up on Brabham and took over the sport. On the plus side, at least Hitler wasn't as successful as Bernie Ecclestone, or we may all have been wearing dodgy mustaches now. Also joined 7th, Renault. They won in 05 and 06. After many twists and turns, they became today's Alpine. Managed to end the Schumacher, oh that's what happened to him, Ferrari dominance. And let's say nothing about Crashgate. 6th, Red Bull Racing with 5 titles. I bet you thought they were higher up, didn't you? 10, 11, 12 and 13 they won the constructors led by Vettel. And in 22 they finally won it again. I think you know them. They sell energy drinks on the side and they're not very good at keeping to a budget. 5th, Lotus with 7 constructors. These guys were Red Bull before Red Bull even existed. Under Colin Chapman they changed the sport from engineering marvels like the first monocoque chassis in Formula 1 to being the first of the big boys to paint their cars their sponsors' colours. I've got to make a video about these guys and I will. They won the constructors in 63, 65, 68, 70, 72, 73 and 78. Yo, have a look at the Lotus 78, probably the most beautiful car in history. Lotus had a slow demise which started with the death of Colin Chapman in 1982. and they never won another title after his going. Joint third with 8 titles, my papayas. Yes, we may currently suck, but the likes of Lauda, Prost, Senna, Häkkinen and Hamilton kicked some serious behind in the McLaren. Constructors champs in 74, 84, 85, 88, 89, 90, 91, 98, and of course it should have been in 2007, but thanks to a little thing called Spygate, we did it. And it still hurts all these years later. Joint third with also 8 titles, Mercedes, winning in 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. They kicked bum, and they did so for a very long time, and remember that Nico Rosberg beat Lewis Hamilton in similar machines while winning the Constructors in 2016. Yes, you will remember, because Nico will make sure no one ever forgets. Second, with 9 Constructors titles, Williams. They've been so bad for so long that only the old fans among us may remember the dominant Williams of the 80s and 90s, but Williams are still the second most successful constructor in Formula 1 history. Amazing. From Mansell to Prost, to Hill to Villeneuve, they used to murder my Sunday afternoons in the 90s. Champs in 80, 81, 86, 87, 92, 93, 94, 96 and 97, and rubbish pretty much ever since. Man, I actually miss peak Frank Williams versus Ron Dennis when McLaren and Williams were battling it out at the top. And number 1, of course you know this, Ferrari with 16 Constructors Championships. 61, 64, 75, 76, 77, 79, 82, 83. Big gap to 99, 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 8. And a big gap till the next time. No real surprise, is it? 16 titles, Ric Flair anyone? Woo! And they are the closest to royalty Formula 1 may ever have. Some surprises on the list, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and please press that sub button. God bless, goodbye, and come again, because we will have something new for you shortly.
Happy birthday to Lou, happy birthday to Louise, happy birthday to Lou. Happily set type.